I am going to show you what I have inside of my, inside of my haversack, as well as web gear from World War II. Small disclaimer, none of this is original or exact to what actually was used. Absolutely none of it. All of this is reproduction, 100%. No matter how realistic it looks, on how original it looks, it still has Chinese writing in the urn inside. And that fooled me. I don't think this video will get many views, though. But I just need to make a video today. So, we have the web gear here. This pouch, I'd put a notebook in. This is the canteen pouch. This is a ammunition pouch. Another ammunition pouch with foam inside. Compass pouch. Haversack itself. Meat can pouch, which opens like this. You would put your meat can here, your silverware, be in these 3 individual pouches. Then you'd open, you'd also have your entrenching shovel right here and here. You then open this up from a giant flap, and this is not a bag, it's a whole bunch of flaps that just close. And it's great for easily putting anything in you want. Now the haversack itself doesn't matter if it gets wrinkled, it's meant for role playing. So you just fold it up, you have these, you have straps, they'll keep it closed. So let's close that back up all the way and move on to the internals. So what I have here is just a modern A-frame tent, which, since it's an A-frame, at least looks kind of similar. And the fact that it's olive drab, too. 10 poles here, 10 spokes. My meat can, or mess kit, which is aluminum. Aluminum is what they used for the first few generations of the set, as well as the canteen. But they moved to tin and prioritized aluminum exclusively to aircraft. I have my trenching tool here, as well as modern, because I thought I was getting a World War II looking tool that had poor review because it broke often. From use, actually, I have my compass. Sadly, it's plastic and not brass. What I mean by brass is a compass would not be made out of aluminum or tin, because tin is kind of weak. It would make sense for tin, but I think most your compasses were made from brass. I just think, but they definitely weren't plastic, because plastic was fairly new during that time. I have my uniform over here. It's all my entire uniform is olive drab, which is not completely accurate, but there was a few soldiers wearing full olive drab uniforms. I have my helmet, which is just the liner and reproduction. So the liner is very comfortable. I have my notebook, which is just a duct taped notebook. Small composition notebook that was duct tape. I have this lantern, again, this is not original or was even used. I have this lantern for outdoors. This is for inside of my tent, because this one's way too bright to be inside of a tent. I have this for holding some more stuff, which is not even part. I have my boots, which is modern still, but they at least look exactly like the originals. I have the boot damaged by accident, but it's supposed to be like a service boot, so I don't really care that much. And yeah, to easily for the people that like pointing out modern stuff, I could do that for you. Modern, 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 modern. And that is my entire equipment, which is all laid out on my bed. One of my beds. I'm currently wearing the pants. And sometimes sometimes I may carry like a pack of gums or mint with me. Sometimes. But I barely even do. But of course, mints would make sense in a tin. Because mints weren't made back then. And tins, and there's actually a mint brand that's still a brand today, like most of them anyway. So, assembly and how I would do it, I would have all of these flaps open. You'd always put your shelter half in, which is what they would call this. If this actually was a shelter half, you'd put that in first, so you have a comfortable back. Although shelter half would be half the size of this. I would also have this box with this lantern. These fit? Oh, these do fit. Sweet. You'd have your tent poles. You'd only have 3 tent poles out of 6. You would have them on the side. Either side works. So I'm just gonna put that in there. That's all of this is painted box. Of course, all of this is Army. Just let you know, the Army used, was, most of your Army soldiers were served with this color. And they all had U.S. markings on them. And the easy way to tell the difference between Army and Marine was the markings. If it had U.S. anywhere, just slapped on the front, it would be Army. If it did not, it had U.S. Marine, USMC, like somewhere hidden in a flap, it would be U.S. Marine Corps. So, you'd have your folded shelter half, your tent pokes, your K rations there. That landed perfectly, holy crap. And that would be your basic internals. So if I actually did have a proper shelter half, hopefully 2 halves, because I have 2 haversacks. I don't know where my other one is right now. Probably in storage or something, or hiding. If I have 2 shelter halves, I would have 1 shelter half in each haversack, and I can support 2 people with a full kit minus the mess kit pouch and mess kit and canteen cup. I only have 1 canteen cup. So they'd be short a cup, mess kit pouch, and a trenching tool. I have intentions of getting a 3rd belt, which would be an M1 Garand belt, ammunition pouch belt, which would replace this belt here, and this belt would replace the broken belt. And, so once you have all of this stuff there, you fold that in, and that covers there. You need 2 hands for this, but you have these buckles, and they would buckle in. I don't have a tripod. I wish I did. So you'd buckle these closed, and once you have at least 1 or 2 buckled, it becomes easier. So you would, okay, that's caught up in the darn bag. How it buckles is kind of like in how any other buckle would be. You just slide it through. See, you slide it to the bottom and then feed it back through. And that's how it buckles. Then you pull it tight. Because once you have one in, it's easy to do the rest one-handed. And then you would do the same to the other one. And you'd have all of this buckled. And these buckles would be brass on an actual original. And they tend to break. And then you could do some fine tuning to make it look nice. And you just throw over this latch. Yeah, fine tuning and stuff. You just gotta make it look nice. You pull stuff tight. Make sure nothing will fall out, because that would suck if something has fallen out. By the time you'd have this properly closed, like, nothing's gonna fall out, really. So when you have that fully closed, it should be properly done. Otherwise, you'd have problems with your stuff falling out. But if that happens, your lieutenant would pick it all up. And I'm just saying, your NCO anyway. Then you just slide the entrenching tool into its pouch, like it should be. I have a folding one, which is not right at all. Meant for a... Oh, I'm blocking the camera. Meant for a thing, but you'd wrap that around. And do the same. These buckle, I believe, is, I don't know. I want to say steel, brass, maybe. But it's different than all the others. And you just seal that down. If you could. Alright, so I now have that buckled. Mess kit would flat side up, facing outwards. And you just slip it right in the mess kit. When I mean flat side outwards, is so you at least have a flat back here. And it looks correct, but this pouch is much bigger. It's meant for a much bigger mess kit than what I have. And you just close this lid with this strap. Easy with one hand, dude. Except when you're pulling. Oh yeah, this is a stupid Chinese strap. It ain't gonna do. Oh, there we go. It's pulling now. All of this is reproduction, and from different companies. So let's move on with more equipment. Now what we have left is our canteen and cup, compass, and notebook. Let's do the notebook first, 'cause that's pretty easy. Just slip it in. Now, I'm not sure, not every soldier would carry a notebook, just some that want to record their history, and those soldiers that record what they've done in battle is actually very helpful for researchers, historians that want to figure out what a soldiers feel like in battle. I don't like that sticking out, but I'm stuck with it. We'd have our compass. We'd put it back in our compass pouch, and your NCOs and up would have a compass pouch, and all your airborne would have compass pouches, and compasses and maps, because compass would be exclusive to your higher ranks and airborne. Airborne, because normally they get lost easily, because they're just jump out of a plane and have a parachute. They can land anywhere. In fact, they can land miles off the checkpoint. Here's the canteen, aluminum canteen with aluminum cup. With a interesting handle. The cup, it depends on, you want to do the cup first when you're putting the canteen in the pouch. So what you want to do is have this indented side towards your body. I'm going to put that in the cup. Alright, now that we have the cup inside of the pouch, we have this indented part in towards us, and it should be comfortable. And you close it up. And once you have the canteen in and closed, it's a quart of water, so better carry more. And that is how you assemble this. The haversack. If you have a M1, if you have an M1 Grand Riflesman belt, it's going to be much easier to put this on instead of this pistol belt here. And it's called a pistol belt because your higher ranks would wear this with a pistol hooked up to it. And this is for... No, this isn't for the magazines. This is for an M1 carbine magazine. And then, let's move on to the actual uniform and helmet itself. So this you would carry, or sometimes I'd strap it to my haversack so I can carry it. And I normally just have this during night time, like I know it's going to get dark. So I have my helmet cover here. It's olive drab, and I have it ranked as a officer with this white stripe in the back. That only means they're an officer. It doesn't show their rank, because if they were to have it bulged in the front, it would be very obvious that they're an officer, higher rank for snipers, which is why there's a white stripe in the back. Your NCOs would have a horizontal stripe in the back, and your COs would have a white stripe going up and down. I don't know what that's called. The opposite of horizontal. And you have the uniform. It's a field. This is just the field jacket because I don't have the undershirt. I have the pants on. And once it's all packed up, you got a whole lot of free space. That's the end of my video here. Nice to have a nice day, everyone.